Hello everyone, it's Peter here, Piotr Fisner. Guys, so I was watching yesterday, like 12 hours ago, on the time of the recording of this video. This almost broke me at LinusTechTips, and I'll probably, if you've seen it, you know which video I'm talking about. Yes, this almost broke me. So I did comment it on that. I did, but I didn't want to give any, like a pro tips. Yes, that's why I wrote. Will it zoom in? It will. I won't give any pro. Oh, really, like where it will be now. So far, it's a public data, so you can go over there and you can see it yourself. Yes. I won't give any pro tips, but look at my YouTube channel here, what I do in half an hour or a whole hour, and what's shown here in this video in just few minutes. Plus I use a microscope and preheater. So this could save, I think, 600 for this cost, not even mentioning the time. And many months later, because they've used, that many months later as a title over there. Of one part of the video that it happened after a long time. So not even mentioning repairs advertised on eBay, like HDMI port repairs, not even mentioning that they could ask some pro to do this repair, just say. So I'll comment on that just to make sure that everybody can see how I see it. Okay, first foremost, I like this channel, that's why I watch it. Yes, so that's first foremost. Then second foremost is like this. Sorry for the lightning, it's on the Windows 11, which I don't like, but anyways, it was time to upgrade. I said, let's try it, we will see how it is. My son testing it downstairs, I can test it here. So on the Linux I've got better setup of the lightning. Here it's just a nightmare. But anyways, back to the story. So Linus is trying to fix a digital camera, DSLR, which he struggled with, and he struggled it for a very simple reason. Yes, he don't use professional tools. Second, he pretty much guessing what he's doing, not doing what he should do. Now this is really, like, if you want to encourage someone to do repairs, yes, prepare yourself. Don't, even if you struggle, take your time, think how you can fix it, yes, and then do it the right way. Don't just do for the sake of doing a video that this was released on the 17th September and has 916,000 views, yes, and 54 exactly, and 40k likes. Well, my one is one of them. What I want to say here is, if you want to do properly, because you've got your reputation, yes, you should try better than they did, in my humble opinion. Yes, because if you're showing such failure, then what people will see now, I'll give it a try as well, maybe I can do it. Yes, and after looking at this video, when you see them soldering without a microscope, I'll put in the description this video if you don't know which one it is, because it's worth watching, although you have to skip some parts if you know what they are doing, or you don't want to waste time. And mostly I'm skipping videos, so hopefully you're skipping my videos as well, because they are long. But anyway, so if they would use preheater, yes, like they've used at the very end a brick, which new one costed me like 96 pounds. Yes, so let's say $120 they would pay. They would preheat it, then they could buy a microscope. Yes, so what they've wasted at the end, about $600, I would say they could save up. Now I see that they've got a soldering station, white and blue and yellow, yes, on the video. I don't know if that's mechanic, that's not the cheapest. They could use the cheapest 60 watt to that job, and that would be too much. That would be exaggeration for the sport, yes. You don't need such board, such 60 watt, but let's say they would buy for 10 pounds, yes, so $12, soldering iron. They don't need a whole station. So those prices which he's given, it's his opinion. If you buy his opinion, you buy into what he's doing, yes. Well, I don't buy everything. That's why I'm recording genuine videos. That's why you've got genuine knowledge here. If I'm screwing up things, you see how I'm screwing up things. If my tool's failing, like on the yesterday's video, Xbox Series X, I was struggling with, and finally with a preheater, and I knew I will have to use preheater if that will be the case, or I will have to use hot air, yes, then you see it, and you see what to do when I'm struggling, how to resolve your issues when you will be struggling. So that's a genuine video, yes? No cutting scenes or anything. If so, I'm placing pause and then doing certain part of the job, and I'm going back to the video. But then you know what I did. Whereas here, if he's showing you some hot air, some soldering station, some tools, you know, with whatever he thinks is the best, then he's having his own opinion and he's don't showing it. So how I would do it, yes, if I would have this digital camera here, I would use my cheap soldering iron, okay, this cheap soldering iron with maybe 2 tips, maybe 1, depending how the job would go. I would use my cheap hot air station, which I paid 60 pounds for years back. Like, I will exaggerate 10 years, but let's say 8 years ago. So that's what I would do. Yes, it is failing, don't get me wrong, it's not the best, and I'm working more now with electronics, and I'm struggling sometimes, you know, with using stuff, so I will have to think about an upgrade to my stuff, but it is still doing a job, yes. Plus, you don't need a preheater to that board. If you've got a hot air, and if you've got a microscope, you don't need, because what you're doing is, yes, it's easier with preheater. Yes, it's easier even with that brick they had. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but if you don't have it, yes, and if you've got a thicker board, what you can do, I've showed it to the customer who was sitting here yesterday, that I removed his HDMI old port. Yes, that's his old HDMI port. You need to preheat from one side and from second side. If thing doesn't go, you can use more flux during the soldering process, and you can use even low melt solder. Yes, I'm using regular. If I can't remove something and I don't want to use preheater, nor I want to increase the temp on my hot air, I'm using regular solder so that they can connect together and they can transfer heat better. Yes, so that's what he didn't do. Now, next thing is, yes, when you've got it out, you should not just do, you know, like any tip. You should get the tip for the soldering iron that will fit best surface. I prefer this, yes, this tip. This is quite big tip, but for most of the jobs, you know, it's fine. If I count, then I'm going for smaller, yes, so that on the surface you take maximum heat transfer to that board. And then when you're wicking, yes, when you're using your wick, that's not the best wick I had, yes, that's chem wick, yes, that's not really the best. Even Stevie B, you know, who I believe is an expert, in my opinion, he said, you know, that's not great. So even if I use this, I use a lot of flux, yes, so to help it out. Okay, you use the flux, but you need to look under the microscope what you're doing. If you don't, you can damage, yes. Now when you dismantle everything, you should do it in particular order. So when you start to unscrew and you don't know this device, you see me even taking photos, yes? So when you remove a screw, that should be from right to left or left to right, yes, depend, you know, how you prefer. But then if you've got everything aligned, then you know exactly which part came after which part, and it's much easier to unmount it. That's why that video, yes, is a bad example, guys. Like, I like this channel, but, well, maybe not everything in that channel, but I like this channel when they doing such things. They are just throwing money because they can, okay? Can you throw that money? I wouldn't say so, yes? So, yes, preheater worth to have, about 100 quid. Microscope, yes, worth to have. From AliExpress, you pay about 100 quid, yes? Like you see my one. Okay, even if you spend 120, yes, on the microscope, then you've got about 200 cost additional to what they've paid. Let's say $250. They spend 600 on the next board. If they would just align everything properly, part after part, and they would take their time to remove it, guys, now it's a level up. Yes, now it's a level up. You shouldn't do what you've done, what he's showing. And I won't be pointing to certain, you know, certain parts of the video. I wanted to give you a good advice. What's the difference they could make to save those $650 they've said, or $600 they said they've paid too much, plus it took them a lot of time to do it. And it's just a port, you know, it's not the end of the world, it's just a port. So yes, if you're hitting from bottom, from the top, it doesn't go, using more flux, more solder on it. If you don't have, you know, an opportunity to have a preheater, you can use your oven, or you can use many people use ovens, believe me, and then their wives, you know, have to yap, of course, because that's, you know, electronics in the oven. But then again, don't put this to the extremes where the temp is melting or the board is, you know, making a banana. But put about, I was putting about 130 degrees, yes, and then when I took my thermal camera, it was never reaching that to be true. It was about 20 degrees less, so 110, but then it's easier to transfer the heat from the hot air to the board, because you need to use much less heat than to transfer that, to remove that component, yes? So that's that's a good thing, you know, to know. Brick, I don't know what temperature I would have to put to this brick, probably about 200 degrees, and then, you know, then transfer it to some safe place to preheat it and then use my hot air, yes? But it's guessing, yes? Would I be feeling safe about it, or the oven? I would be safer about the oven, because I've done it in the past number of times and it never failed me, unless I didn't fix something. Just because I didn't fix something, I could desolder or solder something because of the oven, yes? So brick, I wouldn't say so. But maybe somebody has a better, you know, practice with it, and they just wanted, give it a bash, yes? So yeah, so that's my opinion again, yes? Then when you've got it out, you cleaning it, yes, under the microscope. Even you can buy a cheap microscope with like a 1000 or 500 zoom, which is, I had it here on the first video, so that's a nightmare, yes? But, you know, just for that one port, that would do. That would literally do, yes, for that one port. And then when you clean everything with your wick, you can apply flux, you can apply solder, yes, on the surface of those pins. You can preheat it with hot air, or put it back on the preheater, or put it to the oven again, yes? Now when it's preheated again, use your hot air and then spread the heat. Don't point heat from the gun only to one point, because you will start to melt the plastic. That's an obvious thing. You will start to melt the plastic. And if you've done it first time, second time, third time, and he not learning from his mistakes, and then he finally got the last one, and guess what he done? He damaged it again. Yes. So but again, that's my way of looking at it. If I damage 1, 2, 3 things, I should learn from it, not just waste those things and say, oh, I just spent $10-20 on those ports. Well, that's true, he didn't spend a fortune, but then he wasted it. Yes. So he wasted the 600 plus those ports plus other stuff, and it costed them just a lot. So believe me, you could do it for a fraction of a cost. The cheapest hot air would do it, the cheapest soldering iron. I'm saying, just to be on the safe side, take 60 watt. Yes, this one has adjustable temp here. Yes, you can just turn it and set up the temp. You don't have to use full. So that's a good thing. You've got a station. If that's mechanic, that costs a bit. If you've got a hot air, I don't know what the hot air is. Maybe it's cheap, maybe it's dear. I've got no idea. You've got other stuff over there. Why you've got 2 type of fluxes? I've got no idea. You could be good with the one. You've got a small wick, so that's a good thing. And you've got 5 ports, I see. So yeah. When I'm buying ports, usually I'm buying 1 or 2, yes, because like I just done this one, so I've ordered another one. It's coming, then that one will come. I will see if I need it. If I need it, I'll order another one. If no, I've got 2. But if you don't have a practice, yes, it's worth to have more. Like when I'm ordering from China ports, I just order. Yes, I will buy 5 each, or sometimes 10 ports each if it's for a PlayStation 5, because I know I will do it eventually. Yes, and those boards are thick. They are really thick. They need extra heat transfer. If you've got thick board, you can't just use regular heat transfer from hot air or from soldering iron and be happy that you will do it. No, that's a mistake. So guys, that's it. That's 17 minutes video about another video which is called This Almost Broke. I'm no expert, as you know. I'm professional. I'm doing it on a daily basis. I'm soldering on a daily basis, using hot air on a daily basis, yes. And I'm doing micro soldering, so I think I know what I'm talking about. I don't think I know. And because I'm doing it, you can save your hassle by watching this video, guys. So watch that video. That's 19 minutes and 43. Cut the everything. They've got few minutes worth watching, literally. And you can use your arrow right and just skip when you see something not interesting. The same on my videos. I'm happy that you're here, that you're learning something out of it, that you've got some value out of it. But I'm not happy if you have to spend 1 hour and see only fraction of it worth your time. That's why skip is a good thing. Sometimes you need to use a mouse to have a bigger skip live, or touchpad if you're watching on the laptop. Hopefully you don't watch it on the phone, because you wouldn't have a value out of it. So invest 50 quid or 100 quid, buy some laptop, cheap laptop, and watch on that one if you have to, or watch on the TV. But that's it. That's everything, guys. If possible, let's fix them all, but not the way Linus is showing, because that's a show. That's not a thing which you should do, and that's discouragement. That's really a discouragement, because not everyone will be able to afford those £600 or dollars later to spend it. And we should encourage people by recording videos, not discouraging. That's my opinion. I don't know if you agree with me, but I just didn't want to reply over there, because there will be tons of people who reply, but there are few people subscribed, like 70 people subscribers. So at least those 70 people, if they will watch this video, they will understand what I think about it and how I would approach it. Yes, that's why I've got 5-star rating. Yes, or I'm trying to keep up with 5-star rating, because I'm doing what I'm doing. Yes, and you know, Google wouldn't lie because these are local customers, so sooner or later there probably will be somebody who won't be happy, and I will explain a video about it, why that person is not happy, and I will try for sure my best to reply to that problem, yes, but you can't please everyone, yes, but at least, you know, I've started to record on the December 2021, and we've got the 18th of September, yes, now 2022. For so many months there was nobody placing 4 stars, 3 stars, 1 star, you know, like whatever. No, because I'm really trying my best to do it. Yes, I'm struggling sometimes, and you see this struggle here because I'm no expert. I've told you, for the last 2 years I've interested myself into micro soldering, because before I was more of a replacing components all the time, and in 90s and early 2000 I was only fixing electronics. Then I stopped it till last 2 years. Then I've learned it myself because I had hot air for a number of years and I was doing some jobs with hot air. And then, you know, I started to learn 2 years ago, and it took me over half year to 1 year before I bought my first microscope to do something under the microscope. And then I was doing for several months only on my own before I start to record videos on December last year. So you see, so it took me like countless number of hours on YouTube watching other people doing it. Yes, countless number of hours. If you don't spend that time, don't try to do what Linus is showing here in this video, because you need a practice, and it's better to look at someone else doing the same job. You know, when I started with Xboxes, I had hundreds of hours watched for sure from number of YouTube channels, yes, and I fed up my head with how they are approaching it, and I seen they are cutting scenes. Then when I start to do my TDP-158 a retimer chip, I blow off my components of the board. I couldn't take it off. Now give me TDP-158, I can take it off without a microscope. I'm using microscope so that viewers can see it better, yes, but I don't need a microscope to remove it, yes. I can clean the surface of TDP, apply the solder without a microscope, yes. I will use maybe this one to make sure. Then when I'm putting it and when it's placed, yes, I will use microscope because my eyesight is not great and this is not the best, yes. So I will use it. But for instance, the coder, he got more practice than myself, and I've seen him, you know, doing sometimes things that I would use microscope for. He don't need it. So at the end of the day, you know, everything comes with a practice, and sorry that I took so much time to explain it, but it's worth understanding, because I hate when people are doing videos. Because they can, yes? And in those videos it's nothing that we can rely to, and that's sad, you know. So that's why this, not that should be stopped, but we should have our common sense here. And like Sorin from what's Sorin's YouTube channel, because probably Electronics Repair School, yes, Sorin was saying, you know, when you buy stuff online because somebody else online told you, you know, you should make your own due diligence, yes, your own research, yes, if you want it. And he was talking on about one video on an Aten. I said to him as well, you know, that I would like to upgrade my old stuff. I wrote an email to him and I told that I would like to replace. But once he opened it and showed me that it's instead of air pump, there is a air blower, I don't want that Aten. Plus he showed that the hose for the, you know, for the blower, from the blower to the handle, it's thicker, you know, like bigger, much bigger, yes. It's less comfortable to maneuver. That's the second reason why I don't want that Aten anymore. But I want it, you know, and I would probably buy it, and I would probably do what Sorin did, yes. So you see, we can't buy just opinion of the internet unless we can verify it. That's why I've got this YouTube channel, to show you how I'm struggling, so that you can verify by watching those all other videos, is it Is it genuine over there? And now you probably know that not everything. And yes, you can watch Northridge Fix, who have number of years of experience. Yes, you can use Decoder, but unless you will spend your time and do it, you know, in your own time and learn it in your own time. And Sorin as well, Electronics Repair School, yes. Unless you will spend so much time as we are spending as professionals, and you will do it yourself, you will be like Linus in his video, yes. So just buy old electronics, get stuff here on your desk, and start doing it. Nobody will start it for you, and have some fun with it. You know, you'll bin it because it will be wasted. But have it a go, try it, and you'll be fine. Just practice makes master, guys. Thank you. 25 minutes video explanation plus other bits and bobs. Hopefully you've got a value from it. If you do, please hit that like button because it's really helping this channel, and it motivates me to do those one video per day, because it's a lot of videos to be true. So thank you guys for watching, and if possible, let's fix them all. Take care. Bye bye.